What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. So in this video, I want to talk about the situation with Kobe Bryant, Gayle, Snoop Dogg, and a whole lot of other people. And I've talked about this in previous videos, of course, but I also want to come through and just talk about some things that I've noticed thus far, as well as like some low-key afterthoughts thus far. So, I want to start this video off with a quick quote from a very iconic and influential man named Malcolm X, and as well as Black History Month too, right? So here we go. Quote unquote, the most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman. Interesting quote, right? And I don't know exactly when that quote was made. I'm going to say sometime in the 60s, though. All right. And, Malcolm X definitely, he made some observations, right? And I'm sure there's some people who are probably going to be triggered by that quote. And if you are, ask yourself why. Why does that quote trigger you? Particularly in a negative way. I'm sure some people are triggered in a positive way, but I'm talking about people who are triggered in a negative way. But with that being said, let's get into the video. So, y'all, divine basketball playing deity, Kobe Bryant, has passed away. And, of course, we already know that Gayle came through and she interviewed Lisa Leslie and asked a question about Kobe Bryant's rape allegation to Lisa Leslie, which I do think was not a great thing to do, to put Lisa Leslie in a situation like that, especially considering that Lisa Leslie and Kobe Bryant were friends, and to an extent, even Gayle sort of knew, because she said something to the effect of like, oh, well, if you're his friend, then you probably wouldn't see anything like that, in regards to some of Lisa Leslie's answers as far as like not seeing Kobe Bryant really acting like that, which I do think is true. But if Gayle knows that already, then why pose the question to Lisa Leslie, right? And Lisa Leslie could have been caught up in some bullshit and getting dragged and threatened across social media too if she didn't answer it a certain way, right? And people are, particularly a lot of black men are uplifting Lisa as like the black woman, the good black woman, and that's not necessarily bad, but I do think that there is a segment of black men who will use the Lisa Leslie types as low-key mules and perhaps attack dogs. And then, of course, we know white supremacy is using Gayle and as well as Oprah as low-key their attack dogs for black men, right? So it's kind of going down on both sides. Like, white supremacy using Gayle and King to attack black men. Some black men are using black women as attack dogs to attack other black women, right? And as well, considering that black women are so unprotected, it's like Snoop Dogg was able to say what he said because of the state that black women are in as a collective in regards to, a lack of respect, a lack of protection, and much neglect, right? That's why, to an extent, the mainstream media has not really even spoken about this situation much involving Gayle King. Notice that. And I know there's some black women out there who are joining the fight against dragging Gayle King. And I'm not saying that Gayle King doesn't deserve any criticism or scrutiny, but I do think it's a bit overboard and overkill. I'm like, damn, like freaking George Zimmerman and Dylan Roof and Amber Geiger didn't get this much heat from the black community, especially black men, considering that all of their targets were, well, Dylan Roof kind of did like a combination of folks, but still, like a lot of the targets were black men in those situations, right? Hell, Amber Geiger was being coddled in the courtroom, right? So again, black women who are, you know, headstrong and joining a fight against in dragging Gale and all that, you have to be careful about what you support, because one day it's going to be Gale, the next day it's going to be you, low key, So you do have to be careful about what you support and what you say, okay, that's cool, that's good, right? And, I think that a lot of people are low key riding the trend right now. Right now, it's trendy to drag Gayle King, and it's trendy to go crazy for Kobe Bryant and act like he was the best thing that ever walked the planet, ever graced the universe. No shade, I'm just saying, some folks are acting like he really is the divine basketball playing deity, right? Hell. And some of these niggas acting like they goddamn was married to the nigga and had 4 children with him. Shit. Goddamn. Vanessa Bryant hasn't really spoken much about this situation herself. And to be fair, she's grieving and she's planning a funeral. So I'm pretty sure she probably just maybe even doesn't even know about much of this because she's just probably so wrapped up in her situation that she has, and plus she still has like 3 kids to look after as well, and help them through the situation as well. So yeah, I don't want to be insensitive to his wife and his children and things like that, as well as his family. But when it comes to black women, like black women have to grieve their children who get taken down by police brutality and gang violence and things like that. And a lot of times people don't really care about their well-being as far as like their mental state that they're going through. I'm just putting it out there. And interesting thing, Martha Stewart sort of low-key, like she was asked about this situation, and basically in so many words, Martha Stewart said, her name Bennett and she ain't in it. Like Snoop Dogg speaks for himself, and you can go see what Snoop Dogg has to say. And Martha Stewart, she's just being neutral, right? And I don't necessarily blame Martha Stewart for being neutral and just staying out of it, because Snoop Dogg is her coworker, right? But let's say if this Snoop Dogg came at a white woman like he came at Gayle King, do you think that Martha Stewart would have the same energy? Would she still reply the same way? And if she did, would people be putting pressure on her to come through and actually say something, right? Again, something else to think about. But speaking about black women, some black women have been volunteering to be attack dogs against Gayle King, and as well as Oprah Winfrey, right? We know Monique came through and she said some things, and she got a whole situation with Oprah herself, and I'm not saying that that situation isn't valid and it doesn't have validity. I do think that in regards to her situation with Oprah Winfrey, I do think that Monique overall is telling the truth, and unfortunately, I feel like Monique kind of needs to an extent, just forgive and forget. And I know some people are going to feel some type of a way about that, but Monique has been going on about this situation with Oprah for about, 10 years at this point. Like, this situation is like at least 10 years old, and I don't think Oprah is going to be apologizing anytime soon, unfortunately. And as well, I don't think that Oprah overly, Oprah Winfrey, Lee Daniels, and Tyler Perry are going to let you back into the club. I just don't see that happening. And it's so many other things, right? But people are saying like, oh, Monique, she tried to warn us about Oprah. Oh, Monique, a real one. And I'm like, that's well and good and all that good stuff. But where were these same people at when Monique was talking about boycotting Netflix? Where was that at? Where's that energy at? Like, oh, Monique, a real one. She tried to warn us about Netflix, right? Folks don't really support Monique like that. But when Monique turns into an attack dog against black women, then black women, both men and women, will come through and be like, oh yeah, Monique, a real one. She a ride or die. Riding and healing off and dying her career out, god damn it. The little career that she got, right? Doing all this damn career suicide. Same thing with Ari Lennox, dumbass. About to commit career suicide for a nigga who I don't even know if Kobe Bryant even knew that Ari Lennox existed, to be honest. Now, if Kobe Bryant did come through and defend Ari Lennox when she was, being called disparaging names based on her facial features, especially her nose, if he came through and defended her, that would have been a really beautiful thing. All right, that really would have. And I could totally understand Ari Lennox's response if that had happened, right? But that didn't happen. And low-key, Ari Lennox is setting the bar real low. To the point where it's like, is there even a bar? The bar's so damn deep in the dirt. God damn it. You don't even know that it's there. And again, Ari Lennox, the same thing with Monique, is being pushed like, oh, okay, yeah, Ari Lennox, you're a real one. Yeah, speak your truth, Ari Lennox. Speak the truth, Ari. Right? And again, where were these same people, especially men, black men, when Ari Lennox came through and was calling on black men to come through and defend her against this, low-key anti-black slander against her and her facial features, or particularly her nose, right? But then again, Ari Lennox came through and said that she didn't need black men to stick up for her, our black women, right? For her to do what's right, she gonna support her black king, right? No matter the weather, rain, sleet, or snow, I'ma come through and support my black king. Ooh, yeah. Ain't nothing like a black king. I will be his knight in shining armor. Yes, I will. I'll come through on a horse and rescue him. Ooh, if he's stuck up in the tower, baby, just call me and I'll be there. Yes, yes. Oh, Black King, let down your hair. Yeah. Long dress, blonde highlights at the tips. Long dress, I'm climbing up to save you. I ain't no snitch. Ooh. So yeah, Ari Lennox, she came through like a knight in shining armor on horseback to save the black king. Save him. Fuck the women and children. Save the black kings. God damn it. But back to business. So, yeah. And I'm pretty sure there's some other black women in the mix as well. But those are the ones I know about specifically. And again, as I mentioned earlier in this video, there is a media blackout that was oddly enough brought to attention by a white man when it comes to this Gayle King situation and the threats that she's been receiving, it really hasn't been being covered much by mainstream media. Again, that's something to notice, and that's something for Gayle to notice too. She's being used as an attack dog by white supremacy, while in the same token, white supremacy, the white media is not really there to have her back when there's backlash from the black community. So that's something for Gayle to notice too, but it's also something to notice for black women in general, because it's very much open game when it comes to black women, unfortunately. As that quote said from Malcolm X, right? It's been like that for, I'm pretty sure, way before even Malcolm X said that, right? That was just it being said and put on record. you know, I'm pretty sure it was like that way before now. All right. So black women have to be aware of this and be cognizant of this and make sure they move in a certain way, because black women are open game. You can fucking threaten a black woman, man. You can lie on a black woman, right? You can steal from a black woman, right? Heck, y'all remember when Melania Trump plagiarized her speech from Michelle Obama and how the media swept that under the rug and acting like it was nothing and like, well, perhaps she was inspired, right? Like anything, right? Right. Hell, you can fire black women without any pushback too much, right? Y'all remember what happened to Shirley Sherrod? Y'all maybe y'all don't remember what happened to Shirley Sherrod, but yeah, I remember that situation. That situation happened like years ago during like the Obama administration. But yeah, that black woman was fired without any sort of investigation, any sort of research, anything. It was just fired off of a clip that was taken out of context of her talking about, oh, she didn't have anything for white people, and she was like the director of HUD or something like that. She wound up getting fired based off of a clip that was taken out of context and pushed by some white ring white dude, I think Breitbart or something like that. And once you saw the clip in its entirety and within context, it's like, okay, it makes more sense. And the administration did offer her job back. She didn't take it though, but yeah, we know how this goes down, unfortunately, right? Heck, rap music, even, right? And considering that Snoop Dogg has been a part of a musical genre and perhaps even a culture that pretty much standardizes disrespecting women, especially black women, it's like, it's like, you got to side eye Snoop, right? But another thing is, being on code. That's been being brought up too. And yes, black people, both black men and black women, do need to be on code to an extent, right? I think when it comes to us both as a collective and us dealing with other groups of people, we do need to be on code. Although there are some things that I'm like, I just can't support. Like I just can't stay on code when it comes to some things. Like say, like protecting R. Kelly. Like that's not a code that I really want to be a part of, right? But some people do, especially some black women want to be a part of that code. Hell, some black women were even paying or helping bail him out of jail, right? Paying his bond or whatever, and having some plane fly by saying happy birthday to R. Kelly. Black women. Ooh-wee. The mental illness in black women runs deep. I don't know what's up with some, not all, but some black women. And sometimes some of these black women be the main ones have like a history of being like abused, beat down, molested, sexually assaulted by black men. and be the biggest mammy pick me mule types too sometimes. Like, ooh, yeah. So, of course, as I mentioned before, many black men are in their feelings about Kobe Bryant as well, especially black male celebrities coming out and speaking on behalf of Kobe Bryant. And that's cool to an extent. But they're also coming at Gail too, which I'm not saying that Gail doesn't deserve criticism because she does, but I do notice that, in regards to Kobe Bryant, black people, especially black men, are coming through and speaking. God damn it. But again, where were these same black men coming through and speaking on situations that affect black people, especially black men on Main Street? Where were these same black men at? I don't remember a lot of these black men even making any sort of statements in regards to, you know, again, the Trayvon Martin case or the case with John Botham and Amber Geiger, or Dylan Roof and him shooting up a church of black churchgoers. Right? A lot of these, I'm not saying that none of them, but a lot of these men didn't really speak out much about these situations. And also, it's not this strong of an outrage, right? For their own problems, God damn it. The, or rather for the problems of the average everyday black man. You know, fuck the average everyday black woman. We already know that no one gives a fuck about her. Hell, look at how folks treating Gail, and she ain't the average everyday black woman. So we already know that that ain't happening. Right. And again, as I mentioned before, I really think that a lot of people, especially black men, as well as black women, but especially black men, are following the trend. There's some fanatical ass niggas, and they're just following a trend right now. Right now, because it's on trend to be doing shit like this on behalf of Kobe Bryant. It's on trend to be dragging Gail and Oprah. It's on trend because, as I mentioned before, at one point it was not on trend to be going after R. Kelly and to be, disassociating themselves with R. Kelly and to be saying like, oh, R. Kelly is on some foul shit. At one point, it was not on trend to do that. But right now, it's on trend, so a lot of people have came up and spoken out about it. Celebrities love to follow trends. Hell, people in general love to follow trends, but especially celebrities. All right? And, what I've noticed also is like the black community is very quick, way quicker to throw away an undesirable black woman versus an undesirable black man. And we've seen that play out before, like say with the case with Stephon Clark. There were so many anti-black tweets from Stephon Clark, especially anti-black woman and even more anti-dark-skinned black woman tweets. But notice there was so much debate about it, like, oh, should we support him? Should we not support him? Well, it's the bigger issue. It's so much debate about it, right? But when it comes to a black woman, and she's undesirable. If Stephon Clark was Stephanie Clark, it had the same, just switch the gender, and had the same record, of anti-blackness, there would have been no debate about that at all. It would have been she was a bed wench that got what the fuck she deserved. And to an extent, I would agree with that. The same thing with Stephon Clark. Like, he kind of got what he deserved. And also, I think he was in the middle of, like, doing some robbing, thugging shit. But still, it's like, oh, that black king he got to get his justice. He got to get justice. That black king, even though he was robbing someone, he ain't do nothing wrong. That black king, leave him alone. Let him go home. Black king, no. They discriminations against my black king. Racially discriminations against my black king. Right. All that shit. And I'm not saying that isn't a part of it, because I do think there is, of course, some anti-blackness in situations like that. Very much. I'm not saying that that's not valid, but still, it's like, well, black women also experience anti-blackness too, though. But notice that the same energy just isn't there when it comes to, defending black women who may be in the wrong, right? Hell, sometimes when a black woman is being a victim by like a white man, but oh, she was probably fucking him. She was fucking that white nigga, right? Even hey, she probably don't even know that dude from a can of paint, and they're already saying she had a relationship with him and it went bad, right? And some people like some black women are still supporting black men who are in relationships with non-black women who get caught up too, but again, that's something for black women to be aware of and to think about and to see who they support and who they don't support, right? But yeah, notice that it's again so much conversation, dialogue, and debate when it comes to getting rid of undesirable black men, right? Even from the black men who may consider themselves to be educated lames and not the thugs, and don't do drugs, don't deal drugs, never own the Persian rug, you know. It's always some sort of a hesitation when it comes to taking out the black man trash for some reason, right? Right, like the black men who have like the slave buck mentality and just want to get women pregnant here, there, and everywhere, right? You know, like we gotta have some debate, some conversation, some dialogue about this, But again, when it comes to the black woman, right, that debate and dialogue and conversation is not there, right? There's no one's really pushing that all too much. Hell, black women aren't even pushing that all too much. It's like, it ain't me. Black women got that it ain't me mentality when it comes to other black women, right? Like, sorry, Ari Lennox, it ain't me. Sorry, Monique, it ain't me. Sorry, Serena Williams, it ain't me, right? But of course, when it comes to black men, then it's like, oh, that could be my son. That could be my brother. That could be my daddy. That could be my friend, uncle, sister, brother, sister, daddy down the street. Turn to the right, to the left, then make it straight down the middle. That could be him. I gotta speak out about this. Right? So you can do all them mental gymnastics for this nigga down the street to the right, to the left, straight down the middle. But you can't do that for the black woman sitting right next to you. But again, that's what happens. Kind of like when I think probably just being too strongly black male identified and turning into the the mammy, the pick me, the mule types. You know how that go. We know how that go by now. But yeah, I think I've mentioned all that I have to say for the time being. So what do you guys think about all this, that has gone down so far? Was Kobe Bryant your divine basketball playing deity? Have you been feeling triggered by this situation with Kobe Bryant and Gail and Snoop Dogg and everyone else? Have you been just saying, my name Bennett and I ain't in it? You know, what has been going through your mind thus far with all this, right? And again, I think this is really revealing a lot in regards to black celebrities and what they really put value on as well. Because I don't think these black celebrities are really that much here for, us regular folks on Main Street too much, unless they want us to support their projects or something. You know, I don't think they're here for black men or black women or black men. Especially they ain't here for black women. We already know that. And one more thing I want to mention, and this is a bit off topic, pretty much. But I've noticed and I've seen like some people coming through and blaming Gabrielle Union for Dwayne Wade's biological son pretty much being homosexual and dressing in female clothing and getting his nails done and things like that. And I'm like, well, Gabrielle Union is a stepmom. She's not his actual biological mom. Like Dwayne Wade is his actual biological father. But I feel like a lot of people are putting the blame on Gabrielle Union like she is just, like Dwayne Wade ain't got no say. Like she just saying, nope, he gonna be wearing some lipstick, he gonna be wearing some nails, press on nails, uh, crop tops, right? Putting the blame on Gabrielle Union, right? And to an extent, I think this is just kind of like what the community does, like, oh, it's black woman's fault, mind you, like. Again, Gabrielle Union is a stepmom, not a actual mom. His like his biological mom, at least. And as well, Dwayne Wade is there, and as he should be there. He is the one that's there to show him and to help socialize him into um, male gender roles, right? Again, his son ultimately is going to do what his son wants to do. It'll probably it could just probably be when he gets older to make his choices or whatever. But again, I noticed that folks are putting the blame on more so on Gabrielle Union, and I just don't think that's completely fair, right? But that's just what happens, and as well, people expecting Gabrielle Union as a stepmom to play the role of his biological mom too. And then, when Gabrielle Union came through and says that she was going to teach her stepsons about, the beauty of, brown skin and dark skinned black women, I don't really remembering much of an like support on that from the black community, especially black men. You're right. So again, folks show what they are supportive of and what they are not supportive of, and what triggers them and what does not trigger them, and what makes them advocate for things, right? And this situation with Kobe Bryant pretty much, you know, reveals all that, right? It exposes all of that, all right? So again, something to think about here. Food for thought. So thank you for watching this video. Please comment and let me know what you think. Until the next video, adios and goodbye for now.